Separation is elevation. No matter how low on the totem pole you may be, you're still at a greater advantage by yourself. All right. Separation is elevation. No matter how low, you have to start, you're still at a greater advantage by yourself. Sometimes we have to be alone. All right. We may not like that. Other people may not like that, but sometimes you're better off by yourself. Because when you are alone, you might be able to get more done. You might be able to focus more. When you do away with all distractions, you're able to keep your mind on the things it needs to be on, and you're able to do what you need to do without anything being in the way. And when I say this, I don't mean to, say that other people are in the way. I don't mean to say that somebody else is a distraction, but they may be in the way of your goals, and they may be distracting you from your goals. Anything that's not your goal, that's in the way of your goal, is distracting you from your goal. And when other people don't find a problem with that, and you do, you're going to have to separate to elevate. When other people don't mind being in the way of what you have to do or putting themselves first before your goal, then that person is in the way. All right. You are going to mind that because you know what you need to do and what the time requirement is that you have for how long you have to do it. If there's something that you have to do every day and you have to do it by a certain time, you don't have time for other people during that time period. And other people are going to have to understand that. And if they don't understand that and they're not trying to, then that means that person is either going to hold you back, get in your way, or you're going to have someone in your life that's fighting for the time that you are needing to get things done. And no one wants to have to fight or choose between what they love to do and who they want to be around. Because if you try to make a person stop doing what their life requires them to do or what God requires them to do, the person, if they're wise, they're going to choose what God told them to do. They're not going to choose you and what you're trying to be to them. And I don't mean that with any disrespect. I mean that as a man. All right, people say that they want a man until a man has to go off and be a man. People don't want a man. They want someone that they can control, someone weak, someone soft, someone that they can tell what to do and this person will go do it. That's what people want. You have to realize that some people don't want what they really say they want. All right. Some people don't really want what they say they want. Oh, I want a man. Oh, I want this. I want that. You don't. Because if you really wanted a man, then you would if what you said was what you really wanted, you would allow everything that needed to be in order to take place. All right. People say they want to lose weight and go to the gym. If they really did, they would switch their diet up. Most people won't switch their diet up. They just want immediate results. They just want to keep living their life the way that they're living it and want to go to the gym and to be able to work out and get in shape. You have to consider your diet. You have to consider your diet plan, the foods you eat, your micros, your macros, your carbs, all these things, body weight, water weight. It's a lot more to it than just wanting to go to the gym and get in shape or lose weight. You have to start eating healthier. You have to get the right amount of sleep. You have to make sure you're not getting too much stress. You have to drink 8 ounces of water every day. You have to start eating fruits and vegetables. You have to start eating more roughage so that way you could, release a lot of that stuff when you go to use the bathroom and you're not packing on a whole bunch of excess weight. People say they want to do things until it's really time to do things. So when someone is not serious, say you're going to the gym and the other person is not serious about the gym, they're going to be playing around. They're going to go and want to leave immediately. They're going to create excuses for why they don't want to be there. I understand not everybody wants to work out, but when people are playing around with you and they're telling you they want to do something and then they don't, and then they're wasting your time telling you you're going to do this and then you're not, and all these other things, it becomes a waste of time. It becomes a game. And now you have to separate from this person. You're definitely going to celebrate, but you definitely have to separate from this person. You cannot waste your time with people who are not serious about doing what you want to do. This is why it's best to do things by yourself. I don't want to, it's certain things now that if it's something that I want to do, I'm not doing it with anybody else anymore. I'm doing it completely by myself, and that's it. I'm doing it by myself and I'm doing it for myself. If I want to go to the gym, I'm going by myself. I'm not going with anybody else. I'm not going with any partner unless it's a personal trainer. Otherwise, what are we at the gym for? All right. Otherwise, what are we doing here? All right. If I'm going hard and I want to work out and you don't, then we need to separate. You're going to either slow me down or hold me back or distract me. And that's just me keeping it real. People say they want someone in their life. People say they want a man. People say they want a relationship. People say they want a gym trainer. People say they want to be successful. People say they want to be rich. But when it comes down to actually becoming that and the discipline attached to it and the work you have to put into yourself and the type of time you have to dedicate to these things, you'll see that most people are just running their mouth and they're not really serious about what it is they want to do. And it's okay to be running your mouth and to not be serious, as we're not going hard or going ham on anyone. See, they don't want to work. They're lazy. That we're not coming at people like that. But the thing is, it's like if you're not doing something, it's because you're lazy. Like people say, like people will say something about a person being sensitive or a person not being able to take criticism, but when it comes to them, it's like they won't be able to take it either, or they just can't take it at all. So it's like if you still have things that you want to do and you're not doing them, you might be lazy. All right, it's not a bad thing to be lazy. It's something that you have to accept. Like someone's not calling you lazy in all areas of your life. Of course, if you're taking care of your house and you're taking care of your family and you're doing all these other things, you're not lazy in those areas of your life. But when it comes to the area that you said you wanted to do something in, if you're not doing it, you have been lazy. It's not that you are lazy, it's just that you've been lazy. You haven't you've been lazy in the sense of not doing what it is that you wanted to do. If you want to go to the gym and lose weight and you haven't been doing it, it's because you haven't been making time for it. So I don't mean lazy like in the sense of you're not doing anything at all. You're just lazy in the sense of you haven't forced yourself to make time for the things that you truly want to do and that you truly want to be. And in order for you to make time for the things that you truly want to do and not have anyone playing around you or playing with you, it's a possibility that you might have to separate to elevate. All right. If you find yourself trying to focus and you can't concentrate, you find yourself only getting half as much done as you did around other people, then when you're by yourself, it's time for you to separate. Most of the time when I'm by myself, I get a lot done. And I love being by myself because it helps me think, it helps me concentrate, it helps me focus, it helps me get closer to God. People will talk trash and talk down on you for choosing to be alone or not having anyone around you. Like people say the oddest things. Like people will clown you if you don't have kids. People will clown you if you're not in a relationship. People will clown you at a certain age if you're not married. Like, why can't people choose to do things when they want? Oh, if you're over a certain age and you don't have any kids, or you don't have no woman in your life, or you know what they say, or ladies, if you're not married by a certain age, ladies, you know what they say. Like, screw what the hell they say. Who cares what they say? I'm here to rewrite some narratives because personally, I don't give a shit what somebody has to say. I don't give a damn what somebody has to say, because them and their opinion, is probably based off of their own personal experience. Most people's opinions are based off their own personal experiences. Most people that are saying things negatively about you are just trying to make up for the fact that they didn't plan their life out. If you're planning your life out, it's like you're a murderer to some people, all because you chose to not do a certain thing at a certain time like they did. If certain people are choosing to live their life specifically the way they want to, you don't have anything to say about it. But when it comes to you living your life the way you want to, they have something to say about it. If you want to be a father instead of a dad, then you're going to want to plan your life out. All right. If you're going to want to make sure that you're not bringing anybody through hell with you, as far as new lives into the world, you're going to want to plan your life out. All right. So most of the time, you're going to have to separate from people that just don't get it, or that choose not to get it, or who are low key hating on your lifestyle. All right. Most people who are suffering, or most people who are unhappy, they want you to be unhappy with them, and they want you to be suffering with them. I'm not suffering with nobody. I'm not being unhappy with nobody. I'm not staying in no toxic environments that I don't want to be in, that's not conducive to my lifestyle. If I want success, that means I need peace and quiet. If I want to take a nap during the day, that means I can, and I need peace and quiet. When my lifestyle permits it, and my business affairs are running how they should be. And if you separate to elevate, your business affairs will always be running how they should be. When you start putting other people before your affairs, putting people first, people pleasing, that's when things go wrong. And you probably won't be taking too many naps during the day at that point, because you're probably going to have to go find something else to do, so that way you can take care of yourself. But that's neither here nor there. So definitely separate to elevate, make time for yourself. Your life is your wife. All right. Your life is your wife. Your life is your wife. Your life is more important than any person in the world. Your life is more important than anything in the world. Putting yourself first is most important. Everybody else is secondary. And if they can't understand that, they're not a good match for you. If somebody wants you to put them first in your life, that person is self-centered, selfish, and toxic. That person is selfish, self-centered, and toxic. They wouldn't pause their life for you. They wouldn't put their children second for you. They wouldn't stop doing what they were doing for you. They wouldn't stop watching what they wanted to watch for you. Let people go off and do them. Let people go off and be toxic. All right. It is what it is. Separation is elevation. All right. You may have to start low at the totem pole. You may have to start over, but you're still at a greater advantage by yourself. You don't have anyone stopping you. You don't have anyone slowing you down. You don't have anyone getting in your way. You don't have anyone telling you to stop what you're doing and go spend time with them. I'm not trying to be hard on anybody, but it's real. Like, people say they want something in life, but when you get that, people say they want a man. A man is serious. A man is about his time. A man's life has structure. Like, no one's going to have structure in their life and then let that structure go for you. No one is going to have a routine in their life and allow that routine to be destroyed for you. All right. If you are trying to get into someone's life, you are secondary to the structure that they already have set up in their life. And if you're trying to put yourself before that, you're crazy. You're demonic. That's evil. No one's going to put you over their responsibilities. I'm not putting anybody over my responsibilities. So we have a little bit of a noise campaign, and that's okay. But separation is elevation. It's very important to separate, so that way you can elevate. You want to get to a certain level. Everybody wants to get to a certain level. You think I want to stay at places like this where people hear me outside my room and somebody signals to someone, hey, he's making his videos, I'm going to let this horn go off? No, I don't. All right, you think I want to elevate. I want to separate and elevate. I want to elevate and isolate myself, so that way I could get away from everything and everyone. Separation is elevation in the form of finances. If you have someone that's always trying to go out, if you have someone that's always trying to get you to spend your money, if you have someone that's always trying to get you to go out and do things, don't do that. Save your money. All right. You're not supposed to have so much fun to where you go broke. You're not supposed to have so much fun to where, you put all your responsibilities to the side and focus on what's happening right now. That is common sense. And that's something that will destroy you. That's something that will make you have to start over from scratch. That's something that's going to have to make you start low on the totem pole. Get away from people who are trying to make you start over, or you see yourself being in a position to where you're going to have to start over. No one is more important than your money. No one is more important than your finances. No one is more important than your mental health. No one is more important than your connection with God. All right. Me personally, I'm staying by myself until I can get everything how I want it to be. All right. There are going to be some people who are upset. I'm just going to have to tell them no. There's be So most definitely choose yourself over others. All right, most definitely put your modus operandi before others. You're going to have to. It's very important. All right, when you realize that it's something that you want to do and you want to put your all into it, you're not going to have time for other people. There's just times in your life where you don't have time for other people. And unfortunately, it gets ugly because it's like you want to involve people in your life and you only have a certain amount of time for them. But, some people, they want too much. Some people, they're not going to be able to handle the amount that you have to give them. So it's like you have to be straight up with people. Like, I can't give you all of me. All right, you can't have all of me. You can have some of what I have to offer, but you cannot have. I can't give you everything that I can't give you everything. Can't give you all my time. Can't give you all my attention. I can't give you all my energy. I can't give you all my everything. Damn sure ain't getting all my resources. you know and people will call you selfish for that. The manipulation is at an all-time high. Like, people want to call you selfish and manipulative for caring about yourself and putting yourself first. Each and every one of us has to cater to our own value systems. Each and every one of us has to cater to our own value systems. If not, how are you going to have any value? How are you going to be a value to someone? How are you going to be a value to others? How are you going to be a value to yourself, most importantly? People say they want something, but when they ask for it, they have to be, you got to be careful what you wish for. People say they want something, but you got to be careful what you wish for. Some people say they want, some people say they want a man, but when it comes down to wanting a man, you're going to have to let that man go off and do what he needs to do. And if that bothers you, that man doing what he needs to do, taking time away from you, putting time into God, putting time into his health, putting time into his self, putting time into his wealth, then that you're not going to get anywhere with that guy. All right. So, and it goes. I'm sure the same goes for women too. All right. I see a lot of y'all ladies in the comments. Y'all ladies are on it. Y'all like, I'm not in no relationship. I'm working on me. I'm taking care of me. I love it. Y'all love to see people, men and women, really, really lock down on their responsibilities, their focuses, their goals, the things they want to accomplish, and get them done, and stay to themselves and create their own reality, create their own life. And some people get upset when they realize that that life that you're creating may not involve them. But it all depends on how they choose to act when you go to create your life. Why would you want someone in your life that's already tripping over it and it's not even created yet? You didn't even get to where you want to be yet. They can't even control you being alone for 15 minutes. They can't even control themselves or be okay with you being alone for 15 freaking minutes. So it's like, why would you want to continue to put yourself in that? Always having to stress over wanting to be alone. always having to have someone in your ear calling your name when they know you're trying to concentrate on something, playing around with you like you don't take what you do serious. You got to separate to elevate. A lot of people think it's a game out here and they think you're playing around because it's a game to them and they're playing around and they don't value time. They don't understand the proper value of time or money or energy, but you do. So what you have to do is you got to do what you got to do, and everybody else is just going to be mad and upset. And that's what I'm figuring out is the best way to be. In order for you to be happy, there's going to be somebody that you piss off or make upset. It's polarity, it's life. Even when you don't purposely try to make anybody upset, your happiness still draws haters. You know, you're going to be happy, somebody's going to see you happy, they could potentially hate on that. If you put yourself first and above somebody else and their agenda, and they see you caring for yourself more than you care for them, they're going to be hurt by that. They're going to feel some type of way about that. Well, I'm putting into you, well, I'm doing this, well, I'm doing that. You sometimes just being there is enough for somebody to be putting into you and to be doing things for you because of what you represent by being there. And I know that may sound harsh, but that's real facts. If somebody needs a scarecrow and you show up and you're a scarecrow, then that person's needs are met. All they need to do is just have prop you up and have you stand there and be a scarecrow. But you know, they didn't bring you there to water the grass. They didn't bring you there to till the land. They didn't bring you there to do all these other things. You brought me there to be a scarecrow. You can't stop me from being a scarecrow. You know, I got to be a scarecrow. Whatever comes with being a scarecrow, that's what that person's going to have to be, whether you like it or not. All right. So it's like you have to be what you are. You know, whatever you are working towards. If you are a doctor, you have to be a doctor. If you're a race car driver, you got to be a race car driver. If you're an artist, you have to be an artist. You're not allowing anything to get in between that. You are going to separate and get away from everything and everyone that is taking you away from your goals. All right. That movie with Denzel Washington, when he was playing the music artist, he said, my music comes first. The woman was like, the sister, she was like, why, do you always your life is so structured, you only have a certain amount of time for me and you have all this other time for your music. He was like, my music comes first. My music is my life. He said, I don't put anything before that. He was like, you most definitely will come second. So it's like when you have a lot of things that you want to do, you're not going to have much time for other people. All right. If you know a certain area in life where you're trying to get to, and you know everything that you have to do to get there, there's really not going to be much room for others. It's going to be you, your responsibilities, your gifts, your talents, the things that you have to do every day, and that's it. And you know, people are either going to have to accept that and take that and run with it with you and go along with your program, or they're either going to have to just not take you and they're going to have to accept it for what it is and go off and live their life as you continue to separate to elevate. All right, separation is the key for elevation because there are some people that slow you down. There are people who play around. There are people who purposely get in your way, people who purposely sabotage you. There are people who, like, here's an instance, right? Say you're in the house with someone and they know you have to do something every day by a certain time. When people start making things to be done or things for you to do, or when people start making you try to spend time with them during the times that you have to take care of things, like say you take care of something every day at 3:30, now it starts being dinner at 3:30. Now that becomes a conflict of interest. Are you trying to ignore this person and not sit down and have dinner with them? No. What you're trying to do is keep your regular schedule and your routine and get your work done. But what this person is doing is they're trying to get in the way of what you're doing, but they're trying to act like they're not. And when people do that, you have to immediately cut them off because that person is trying to play with you. There's not going to be any understanding that can take place, most more than likely. If you can, you know, you're truly blessed. But more than likely, this person is not going to be able to understand that what you have to do is more important than how you feel about them, or what you think about them, or your um relationship with them, whether it be relative, whether it be someone you're in an actual relationship with, not just someone you know. As far as you know, your relationship could be mom, a dad, a brother, a relative. Once people start trying to make you decide between the things that you have to do for yourself and them, that's not good. So that's why separation is key, because you don't have to worry about any of that. Separation is key because you don't have to be around anyone that's purposefully trying to stress you out, making you decide between them and what you love to do, them and what you have to do. All right, there were always people in my life trying to take me away from the things that I had to do. And it's like, once I saw that, when I had people in my life and I had to choose between what I wanted to do and other people, I just chose what I wanted to do. I chose myself. I chose my goals. You have to become something. And then I realized everybody else that became successful was on the same page. So I was like, okay, I'm on to something. But you just have to work hard at staying on to something and not getting off of that something because some new people or some new thing comes around or tries to take its place, because that's procrastination. Procrastination is not elevation. Procrastination is deprivation. All right, procrastination is detonation. All right, you're destroying, everything that you build, everything that you built by procrastinating. All right, procrastinating is the number one death to people's dreams. Procrastination is the number one death to a person's dreams. Knowing what you're supposed to do, having the potential to do it, having the skill to do it, and choosing to put it to the side. One of the most painful things a successful person will ever have to endure is putting what they love to do to the side. All right, you never will appreciate your time once you get it back more than ever once you've lost it. You don't know what you've got until it's gone. As far as your routine, as far as your personal time, as far as your free time, as far as being by yourself. A lot of people think it's hard being by themselves. A lot of people have problems being by themselves. A lot of people find it difficult to be by themselves. All right, you're going to start loving that alone time. You're going to start worshiping that alone time. You're going to start getting closer to God during that alone time. Once you get back right, and once you get everything the way it's supposed to be, like, peace of mind and having time to yourself is the most beautiful thing in the world. You don't have nobody calling your name. You don't have nobody trying to interrupt your naps. You don't have nobody trying to wake you up, trying to disturb your peace. You don't have anybody trying to get on your nerves on purpose because they feel you're not spending enough time with them or giving them enough attention. All right. Sometimes people, they can't go, sometimes people can't entertain themselves, and they expect the person that they're in a relationship with to do it. Sometimes people don't love themselves. They expect the person that they're in a relationship with to do it. You don't have to make anybody laugh. You're not there to be anybody's court jester. You're not there to be anybody's entertainment. You're not there to love people the way they should be loving themselves. People are supposed to love themselves. There are some people who hate self-love because they don't have none of it for themselves, and they can't make you give it to them. You couldn't give it to them if you wanted to. That's why you'll have love for people and they still got hatred for you and an attitude for you. That's that self-hatred that's coming out. If they love themselves, they would realize that any amount of love that you had to give them is not even sufficient. The amount of love other people have for you is not even sufficient enough compared to the love that you have for yourself. It's good to have love from family members. Or there's nothing like, love from your family. It's nothing like spending time with family. But it's also nothing like tending to your responsibilities. It's also nothing like creating the reality that you want for yourself. It's also nothing like building the life that you want to live. It's also nothing like taking your time and making things happen, taking your time to stay on your grind. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like waking up in the morning, in the beginning of the day, and focusing on the things that you need to get done and having them done way before the day even starts, and having the rest of your day to yourself, and not have anybody nagging you, not have anybody chewing your ear off, not have anybody whining or complaining because you're not giving them time and energy and attention that they should be given to themselves as a grown adult. Some people are too needy and they need to wake up and smell the coffee that you need to be giving that to yourself. You don't need to be getting that from anyone else. They can't give it to you. That's why most people end up with failed relationships, because they're looking for something that they need to be getting from themselves. They're looking for something that can't nobody give them other than themselves. And people will be mad at someone, and you're not doing this and you're not doing that. The person couldn't do it if they wanted to, honey. You're supposed to be doing that for yourself. You're supposed to be feeling that way about yourself, you know? And a lot of people, they'll get it sooner or later once they're able to mature and understand. But it's not, it sounds cold hearted or cold blooded, but it's not, because there are instances where everybody just stops and don't care, and they just turn a blind eye to things. This is just one of them for you. There's instances where everybody is there, how much they care is turned off. Don't be mad because when you turn off what you care for, it has to do with your personal time and your me time and your free time, and you using it for yourself and to yourself and for your own benefit. Everyone has to go off and do them. Everyone has to go off and be themselves. Everyone has to go off and find time to entertain themselves. You have to be able to grow into the person that you want, and you have to be able to separate yourself when you see people or others getting in the way of that. Don't let anyone get in the way of your success. Don't let anyone stop you from becoming successful, and don't let anyone make you think that you need to stop and stop doing what you want to start doing what they want. All right. Once the things you need to do start, you don't have enough time for them. You have to make choices. Just go by yourself. Just be by yourself. It's easier. It's less stress. It's less headaches. You get to wake up next to a book. Some people, they'll clown you for that. They'll call you a nerd for that. Let people say whatever the hell they want. You're a nerd. You're this. You're that. Well, nerds are some of the most gangster people on this planet without having to do anything physical. And nerds are some of the most richest people on this planet. So people have a lot of negative things to say about people that don't do the things that they do. Because if it was something that they do or they like to do, they wouldn't have anything negative to say about it, would they? No, they wouldn't. I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and who gives a damn what they say in the first place. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Smash the like button, smash the share button. I'll see you successful people in the next one. We back.